Hello, namaste everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. Today's video is for Venus in the nakshatra of Anuradha. So let's understand what is the karma with Venus in the nakshatra of Anuradha and what it stands for. Before that, if you guys are new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon below so you get regular updates whenever a video is posted. Also, if you would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link below in the description box, www.anmollastrology.com. Under the reading and unique reading, you can book a personal reading for yourself. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, Anuradha Nakshatra is a nakshatra who is right there in the middle of the sign of Scorpio. It starts from 3 degrees 20 minutes till 16 degrees 40 minutes of Scorpio. So here Venus is typically in the sign of Scorpio. It is the heart of Scorpio. So before we dive into Anuradha Nakshatra, let's understand the significance of Venus and then understand what does Venus means in the sign of Scorpio. So Venus is the planet of love, luxury, desires, materialistic desires. It is the planet responsible for your relationships, your devotion, your balance, not just love relationships, but the relationships in general in your life. Venus is also responsible for your possessions, your finances, your income, your career, and also your relationship with the family. This is because Venus naturally rules the two houses, the second house and the seventh house. The second house, which is the house of family, possessions, finances, and the seventh house, which is the house responsible for your relationship with the partner, your spouse, your partnership businesses, and business. Also, in some context, it is also related to legal contracts for you. So Venus not only tells us about your spouse, it tells us about your karma with relationships, your income, where your money is going to come from, how much money you're going to receive, you're going to earn, and your relationship with the family. It also tells us about your speech, what you speak, what do you like to eat, all of those things. So if we go in detail, Venus is going to represent so many things of our life, not just spouse, not just relationships. Okay, Venus coming into the sign of Scorpio, as a conclusion, I would say it is the placement of transformation that comes in through love or relationships in your life. Definitely a person with Venus in the sign of Scorpio leads a legacy. They leave a legacy for their, coming generation. They have so much so of capability to create assets, fixed assets for their generations. They definitely leave legacy in one way or the other. People do remember them once they are gone. That can be because of their skills, that can be because of their nature, their actions, but that is there. Now, Venus in the sign of Scorpio is the energy of Venus and Mars. So this typically means that a person with Venus in the sign of Scorpio is a person who is quite intense when it comes to relationships. They definitely are luxury lovers. They definitely are the ones who love to be around luxury. They love to be around relationships. And when they are in a relationship, they definitely want to have sexual encounters. Their expression of love, their expression of expressing their love is not through words. It's through sexual encounter. It's through, interacting you, giving you that passion of life, involving mating. Basically, that is because the animal for Anuradha specifically is the deer. We'll come to that when we'll come to the animal signification, and we'll understand how, these people, whether you talk about Vishakha or you talk about Anuradha or you talk about, Jeshtha, they are going to give you experience of a lifetime because they have so much of intensity within them. Because of the influence of Mars, they are quite protective, they are possessive, they easily get offended, they easily get jealous. So these qualities, I would say these traits are also a part of their nature. But definitely it is going to be their love, it is going to be the way they love that is going to transform them in life, that is going to show them the practical side of life, and specifically when we are considering Anuradha, because Anuradha is the nakshatra of Saturn. So let's talk about Anuradha Nakshatra now. So first of all, the planet that rules this nakshatra is Saturn. So now we have a mix of energy. We have Venus in the sign of Mars with the nakshatra of Saturn. So it's like a combination of Venus, Mars, Saturn. It is going to be different from Vishakha because there we had Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. So that was more about righteousness, more about your authority, more about fight for one's authority. Now, this particular conjunction or this particular scenario with Venus, Mars, Saturn is about you going through obstacles of life through relationships. So whenever I see Anuradha Nakshatra, to be very honest, I just naturally sympathize or naturally develop a soft corner for such people. Because Anuradha is one of the purest nakshatra you will encounter. They might appear to be a little bit, sneaky, rude, sometimes not rude, I would say, but sneaky, very hideous, secretive. But these people are the genuine souls. They're so soft, yet so sacrificial people. Now we'll understand how is it so. First of all, they have to go through sufferings. They have to go through sufferings in life in the form of emotional suffering, emotional depth, emotional intensity. Whenever I see Anuradha, any planet in Anuradha, I know that living significance of that planet in their life has suffered, has fought, as not, I wouldn't say they have, they fought their way. It's like they experienced struggles, they calmed themselves down and then waited. They have been patient for where they are right now. Like suppose a person has moon in Anuradha, then they must have done that in regard, like, the mother has suffered a lot and she has been very patient and sacrificial in life. She has gone through that suffering. If like right now we are making a video for Venus, so if it's about Venus, that means you will feel that pierce, you will feel that hurt through love at least once in your life. And your partner has also suffered in her or his life for some reason. There can be any reason for that. But that's because this Saturn wants you to understand what is the energy of Mars and Saturn come together. It's not an easy energy. It's like, Mars and Saturn. Also, this happens for Dhanishta Nakshatra. Mars and Saturn is like there's always something, it's drums and beats. You can consider that, regarding Dhanishta. It's always ticking. It's always making some sound. It's always making some disturbance. That's Mars and Saturn energy together. I always say that whenever there's Saturn and Mars association, it's called as Kalesh. It's called as battle. It's called as fight. So here on the Anuradha side, it is the fight of emotions. It's the fight of one's intensity, one's inner emotions that are not presented out there, that are not expressed, unexpressed emotions. So since the planet signification of this nakshatra is Saturn, these people have to go through that suffering. They have to go through that, delays in love and relationships. With Saturn here, Anuradha. Now, first, let me tell you about professions, because Saturn is the Karka of professions. With Anuradha, you will see astrologers, you will see psychologists, you will see CAs, chartered accountants, you are going to see tech freaks. Anuradha people, especially Venus in Anuradha and Moon in Anuradha, and even Mercury in Anuradha, whenever I'm going to see this placement, I'm going to tell them that you are a person who wants the most updated gadget. You're always looking for, videos online that this is the new gadget in the market. How do we use it? What is the pricing? We see those tech freak channels of people trying new gadgets and letting you, basically giving you knowledge about it. That is Anuradha. So with your Venus in Anuradha, you can go into any of these professions, and even your spouse can be from any of these professions. Even Anuradha talks about, articles related to leather, like shoes, leather bags. It is also related to staff, like staff stick, the stick that a person, the elderly people basically hold to, as a support for walking. Or they can even have their profession related to wood, or related to water, related to plumbing, because Anuradha is a significant nakshatra for plumbing. Whenever you have Venus in Anuradha and you're experiencing problems within your relationships or within your marriage, just go and check whether or not you have some plumbing issues which are deep there in the walls, or deep there underground, which are not visible, or some of them is visible but the main cause is not visible. Once you get it corrected, trust me, your relationships are going to come back on track and they're going to start blooming. So with Saturn as the planet significator of Anuradha Nakshatra, things come to you with delay. You have to be patient. You have to be hardworking. Only then you are able to receive the kind of love you desire and you deserve. When Venus comes there, your relationship or your marriage takes time to fructify. It takes time to settle. It takes time to, bring yourself into that bond of love. Right? So next, now we have the deity of this nakshatra Anuradha, that is Mitra. Mitra is one of the Adityas and who was well associated with another Aditya, the cosmic god of oceans, Varuna. They were too strong, they have strong friendship. They were so supportive of each other, but there was a love triangle there. And that's how we are going to land to the story of Radha, Anuradha. Okay, so first of all, since Mitra is the deity of this nakshatra, this simply means that these people value friendship, especially with Venus in Anuradha. If you have your Venus in Anuradha, you value your friendships. And your spouse is a person who is going to have close friends. The friends he can, he can do anything. He or she can do anything for. You see those friends who dance at your wedding, who just make that whole scenario at your wedding, especially in this Indian weddings, or the friends who stand by you. That is the purity of Anuradha. But remember, if this nakshatra is afflicted, if your Venus is in Anuradha and it is heavily afflicted with Saturn, Mars, or with the Rahu, then you can get deceived from friendships. then you can be benefited from the friendships. You still become a person who is a giver into your friendships, who is who is always, who values his or her friendships. But it's the friendships that come towards you that are going to deceive you. So the positivity does matter with this nakshatra. It has to be positive or positively placed. Even if you have Venus unafflicted in Anuradha in certain houses like 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, still you can get deception from friendship. But this simply means that you value friendship too. You value the unionship that happens with friendship. You value your friends, and you always look a partner within whom you can find a friend yourself for yourself. You look for a friend rather than a partner. So the love encounter, so the love triangle situation happened with the Mitra, Varuna. Both of them were fond of Urvashi. But it is said that Urvashi, she was very, very beautiful, and she used to be more fond of Mitra, right? So along with this, a story which is heavily associated with Anuradha Nakshatra, especially if you have your moon, you have your Venus, or you have your 5th lord here, or your 7th lord here, that is the story of Radha. Radha was mad about Krishna. She's she's said to be the devotee of Krishna. She's said to be the lover of Krishna. Only what she was not the wife of Krishna. She was the wife was Rukmani. So there also the love triangle is there. So simply these people encounter a love triangle in their life, and they definitely in their life they have a childhood love story which doesn't fructify. The love is there. The At least once in your life you are going to have a romance of a lifetime, like you feel purely, deeply, intensely about a person. You have felt, you have loved that person, and the marriage could not happen with that person. Only at the time when it was about marriage, things just parted their ways. That happens significantly with Venus, and this is something that is going to happen with you specifically, not your spouse but you. So that is the reason why then then the effect of Saturn with this nakshatra comes in. You have to be dutiful, you have to be responsible towards your marriage. And trust me, with specifically Anuradha and Jyeshtha, Venus being in Anuradha and Jyeshtha, I've seen these people have had lifetime of a romance in their life, but they didn't get married to that particular individual, and then they end up just having a marriage with a friend. Like I remember a uncle of mine, he got married very late, I guess either 38 or maybe around 42, and then he had two girls, right? It was quite a late marriage, but still they had two girls. And when I talked about him, when I talked with him that he got married so late, and what was the cause, then he told me clearly that I was in love with someone, and I couldn't marry her. She got married somewhere else, so I waited for a long time because I didn't find any suitable match for myself after that love break. And then I decided to get married, and I found a friend in my partner. I found a best friend in my partner. So he always keeps on telling me that it's not the love that bounds them, it's the friendship that bounds them in their relationship. And honestly, they have a beautiful relationship together. And he has Venus in Anuradha. Okay, I'm not saying that these people have a delayed marriage, but they first have to go through this karmic story, and only after that they find a suitable match to get married to. Okay, so that's the story of Mitra, that's the story of Radha, that they lose a person in their life, and these people are very pure with their love stories. They are extremely sexual, but along with that, and especially it's with Venus in Anuradha, whomsoever they are going to interact with on a sexual level in their relationships, they are never going to be able to forget them, because it's not just lust for them, it's love for them. That's their way of expression, that's their way of showing love. Now, when we are talking about the sexual thing, let's come to the animal of this particular nakshatra, which is the female deer. I think it is female deer. Let me check. Yeah, it is female deer. So deers, see, it is said that deers and antelopes are very sharp individuals. They're always active. They're always, focused. The focused part is right, but the alert part, to some extent, I feel is not totally correct. That is because most of the deers are the ones who are who are taken down in accidents, who die in accidents. So somehow I feel that they are alert, they are focused, but accidentally these people always make some sort of little carelessness, little mistakes in their life. And that is one reason I would tell you with this Venus in Anuradha is, and the association with deer, that in their mind, there is always things that are going around. So when you are in love, you intensely feel about that love situation, but you're not able to communicate all of it out there. So you might make some tiny little mistakes in love, and you'll be criticized for that. But that's not what you wanted to do. You had in your mind that I'm not going to do these things, but it is interpreted very differently out there. So that's a karma that you guys have with love. This also shows that your spouse is also going to be a quite alert, but a quite elegant individual, a person who loves luxury, a person who loves technology. Technology, be it be cameras, be it be PlayStations, be it be TV, be it be any sort of electronics. My husband has a Scorpio placement. He's not typically Anuradha, but he has Scorpio placement. And trust me, it's like he what he does is that every time something comes, and he some technology comes, and he's like, Anmol, we need this. I think we need this. And literally, he convinced me for total of 2 months to buy a new TV. Although we had a very good TV, there were just a few lines, and I have a habit of not discarding things very quickly. And he was convincing me every day. Oh, see this lines. Oh, I can't see it clearly. See, we can't see it clearly now. Then he started showing me videos of new TVs, of the technology they had in. And he was like, oh, see, that's the kind of technology no one has. We should have it. So that's how he convinces me prior to when he's deciding to get anything, whether it's a PS4, whether it's a computer, whether it's a once he convinced me that, Anmol, you need computer. Although I had a laptop and I used to work on it, and he literally convinced me that I need a computer. And we got a desktop. We have a total of, I guess, four desktops, and one is on my desk, that he convinced me that you need it, although I never use it much. So that's something I'm trying to tell about Scorpio people specifically. Especially, this is very, very similar to Anuradha. I do feel that, I don't remember right now, but I do feel from any, perspective, he might be associated with Anuradha, but this is not just Anuradha. It's actually the sign of Scorpio. Okay. So your partner is going to be a person who is going to be quite sensitive, very dear to the friends, and also very innovative. Whenever I see people having innovations, like for example, a person who has formulated a software which people are using, right? Which is very beneficial for the people. Like someone would have innovated artificial intelligence, someone would have launched Zomato, someone would have launched Instagram. These are Sorry. These are the people, Anuradha people, especially Venus in Anuradha, Saturn in Anuradha, Moon in Anuradha. These are the ones who make innovations. Now, with respect of relationships, these people always want to indulge into something exciting with love. At the same time, they want to have a very stable foundation of love. Okay, now coming to the symbol, very important part, symbol of this nakshatra. So the symbols are, first, the flower lotus. So it's very well said that lotus is a flower which is grown in a muddy water. That's why Anuradha people, Venus and Anuradha specifically, you are the one who is going to go through obstacles of love and relationship, but you're still going to outgrow. Still, you are going to retain your purity, your purity with love, your honesty with love. And when I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of my brother-in-law in the background. He has moon in Anuradha. Purest person I've seen, to be honest. And I know whomsoever my future Bhabhi is going to be, she's going to be blessed because he is an intense individual. He is very, protective and very, like, I could consider the people with Anuradha Nakshatra to be pure men, especially men. Okay, who would, when they think that yes, this is my partner, they are going to just do everything required for that partner. Okay, so with this lotus, it's like, see, the lotus has the stems, hidden in that muddy water, right? That is the reason the plumbing effect is with them, that whenever there is an Anuradha Nakshatra, you have to see that there are not plumbing issues in your home. That is one of the main things that you have to see. Another thing is that these people have the ability to keep the dirtiest secrets, the dirtiest, darkest secrets within themselves. So with Venus in Anuradha, you know so many things about your relationships. Not when I'm talking about, when I just say relationships, just take it as all of your relationship, whether it is with mother, father, siblings, friends, everyone. They are the person who hide that particular secrets for you. Whenever you are going to discuss something with them, they are going to keep it hidden. They are not going to announce it. So they are very good secret keepers, especially with moon also there. My daughter is here. Okay, so that's why these people can hold secrets for you. They can hold the negativity inside them, and they have a habit of keeping their love emotions within themselves. And this is something you will find in your spouse as well. He or she is also going to be such a person. They're going to value the friendships, they're going to value the relationships. That's why they keep that hidden. Okay, the next symbol that we have is the staff stick. You see that staff stick that a person uses? You see those old royal men who use the staff stick, the golden colored, the stand is golden colored, and then the royal brown color is there on the downside on the whole stick. So think about staff stick associated with Anuradha, I think of that royalty. These people love to have a good status. At least that has to be viewed in the eyes of others. They're very conscious of this. They do not like to tell the secrets of their family or their relationship out there, because they want their relationship to look like a royal, royal relationship, a perfect relationship. And you would see that with this symbol basically also talks about support. So with your relationships, you desire that support, that fierce royal support from your partner. And even I've seen that Anuradha people are just fond of golden colors, golden brown colors. They might love other colors as well, but it's also one of the things. Now, the next symbol is I think it's the archway, right? Archway. It's very similar to the symbol of Vishakha nakshatra also. Because that's again the representation of royalty. There's a round structure that is made at the entrance, most of all. Or that is something I've also seen there in CP in Delhi, that they have these pillars who support. So it talks about support. It talks about foundation. With your love, with your relationships, you seek that foundation. You seek that love full of foundation, relationship full of foundation, which is not just based on, which is not just based on sexual relationship or just lust, but it is based on strong emotions, strong intensity. You are willing to do anything for your partner. You want the partner to be that they are willing to do things for you as well. Right? Now we are done with I think, yes, we have covered all the necessary points. Yeah, planet, deity, symbol, and animal. And also one of the things I've written that Mitra, it was said that Mitra's semen landed into a pot from which Vishisht was born. And Varuna's semen also landed on another pot from which Agastya was born. So Vashisht and Agast were also known as Mitra and Varuna. And like they were friends, very close friends. They are also considered to be like that. Okay, so with Anuradha as your Venus being in Anuradha, you definitely have struggles through love. You definitely have transformations. Transformations are not just in your personality, but the way you look towards relationships. That's your karma in life. The triangle of love is the karma of your life. To let go a pure love connection, let go a partner that you have felt deeply for, is a part of your karma. So all I would say with this placement, Venus and Anuradha, is embrace your inner beauty, embrace your intensity, embrace your sensitivity. Okay, so guys, this was my analysis about Venus in Anuradha Nakshatra. I hope this helps and gives you good insight into this topic. Okay, see you with the next video. Bye-bye. Take care.